Are you stuck at home in self-imposed quarantine because of so-called social distancing?
You sitting around in the house with nothing to do, perhaps sitting in front of the TV, maybe a little too much. There are a lot of things you could be doing in your spare time, even while you're sitting there watching television, even while you're sitting in front of the computer, or you've just got nothing else to do that could be a benefit to you and a benefit to others in an emergency or a long-term grid down situation. So without much further ado, and in no particular order, number one, not tying. And I harp on this one a lot. It bothers me that there's all these preppers out there that have tons of paracord and don't know what to do with it. This is something that once upon a time everyone could do. Kids could sit there and weave a fishing net. Not anymore. Now it's been reduced to an obscure hobby in the Western world, and it's a really useful skill. Number two, sewing and knitting. This is also getting to be a lost art, and I don't mean just with a sewing machine. Can you do it with your bare hands? Can you do it with just needle and thread and make it work? This is another item that would be absolutely essential in a long-term grid down situation. Clothing and other fabrics need to be mended. And as a matter of fact, it'd be nice if you could make clothing from scratch. But you could sit there while you're watching TV or while you've got nothing else to do, practice sewing or practice doing knitting. It's a really good skill. Number three, field stripping and cleaning. A lot of you know how to do this, but do you do it often enough? Knowing your way around your weapon, how to take it apart and put it back together and keep it clean and properly maintained is a very important skill to have. You don't want your firearms falling apart. You don't want them filthy. You want them operating nice and clean. A lot of people, a lot of preppers, they own a lot of guns, but they don't know really what to do with them in order to maintenance them properly. I'm not saying you've got to be a gunsmith, but it'd be nice if you could do a simple breakdown and put it back together without getting confused. Number four, loading magazines. What am I talking about here? Loading magazines. Well, I've seen way too many people on the range, people who are preppers, other people who don't seem to be able to do it. This one seems like it's kind of odd for this list, but I've personally seen too many people really clumsy when it comes to loading magazines. They barely seem like they can do it. And I got to tell you, if you can't do it under normal circumstances, what are you going to do in an emergency when you've got to get those bullets in that magazine? You're going to be in a lot of trouble. Like I said, even when you're sitting there watching TV, filling it up and popping them back out over and over again to get that repetition, it's a good thing. Number five, first aid. Basic first aid drills wouldn't kill you, but they might help save your life or someone else's life. They might help keep you alive. Can you do basic first aid? Can you do it to yourself? Again, you could be sitting there and practicing wrapping yourself up and unwrapping yourself. What if you're the only one around and you've got to maintenance yourself? What if you're the only one around and you've got to provide first aid to yourself? Can you provide it to someone else on the fly? A lot of people, they take the first aid class or they take CPR and they do it that one time and they never do it again. It's not like a bicycle. You will forget what to do. Number six, holstering and unholstering, knife or gun. You carry your gun all day. Can you pull it out properly? Can you put it back? Same thing goes with a knife. While you're sitting around, standing around in the house, nothing better to do, you could be practicing draws and recovery. You could be practicing pulling out your knife and putting it back. Goes without saying though, be very careful with this. There's a lot of potential for an accident if you make a mistake. Number seven, working out. Goes without saying you should try to be in the best physical condition that you possibly can. Even if you are infirm, even if you've been injured, even if you are disabled somehow, you can still work out to the best of your ability to be in the best possible shape that you can. And there are a lot of workouts that you can do sitting in a chair or standing in front of the TV or lying on the floor. YouTube is loaded with thousands of videos showing you ways that you could work out while you're sitting there, even just watching the boob tube. Keep yourself in the best possible physical condition. As I've stated many, many times on videos on this channel, in the end, you are your own best prep. Number 8, reading. You got a lot of downtime? Pick up some of those manuals. You've got all those books on survival skills and techniques and tactics, but do you read them? You'd be surprised how many people don't. They've got a ton of books and they're just sitting there. Well, if I ever need them, there they are. No. If you ever need them, they should already be committed to memory, or they should at least be in the back of your mind somewhere so that you can draw something from it. You already read the book? If it's been a while, maybe you should read through it again. There might be something that you've missed. But if you've got a lot of downtime, sitting at home, taking a break at work, or whatever you're doing, that'd be a great time to catch up on your survival reading. Number 9, home drills. Just like they do at schools, just like they do at some offices, just like they do in the military, you could be doing evacuation drills at home, fire drill, tornado drill, flood drill, whatever might be a problem in the particular area where you live. You could be doing a power down drill. Let's pretend that there's no power this weekend. We won't use the electricity. We're going to cook on the grill. We're going to light the house with candles just to see what that feels like if you've never experienced it. You could do home invasion drills. We have a video with some suggestions about how to handle managing a home invasion drill. There's a lot of things that you could do in the form of drills to help you be more prepared at home or more prepared to escape from home in an emergency. Number 10, gardening skills. Once again, believe it or not, this is a skill, and it is something that you can do at home, even if you don't have a garden. You know, a lot of people don't have homes, and we address this a lot, that a lot of people who are preppers are actually city dwellers. They're stuck in an urban environment. You don't have a yard. I get that, but you could care for some small fruit or vegetable producing plants right in your own kitchen. It is not as easy to maintain these things as you think. It is a real skill, and it's something that many people simply can't do anymore. You don't just put seeds in the ground and something grows. It takes a lot of care, a lot of maintenance, and a lot of know-how. Practice it now while you can. And one more, because we always like to throw you a bone here. Number 11, if you will. Organize. Rotate and reevaluate. What am I talking about? Keep all of your prep neat and orderly and well organized. I see a lot of preppers and their prep is all over the place. It's a mess. It looks like a hoarder's den. Do not have that. Military precision. Everything in its place and a place for everything. Get it organized. If you're at home and you get nothing else to do, you get all the time in the world. Have lists for reference. Occasionally reevaluate what you have to change with your personal needs. You may have a bug out bag that's been sitting in your closet for a year, and if you went and pulled it apart and looked at it, you could say, you know what, I don't need this, this, and this, but this should have been in here. Go through those things. Always rotate things that require rotation, like foods, medicines, batteries, bottled water. You know, after a while, those plastic bottles start to degrade. You need to keep the water rotated as much as the food. Think about those things. What can you do to organize, rotate, and reevaluate while you have some spare time?
If you have any thoughts on the subject, please do feel free to post your ideas in the comments section down below. And please do give the video a thumbs up if you get where I'm coming from. Easiest way to show your appreciation for my efforts. Share the video if you can, and do subscribe if you are new. Please check out some of the other videos for more related content. And remember to hit the bell icon if you're new so that you can be alerted as to when new content comes out. Hopefully, ScrewTube will actually let you know when I put out videos. If you would like to help out the channel, there are links for that down below. I need all the help I can get, and I sure do appreciate it. Additionally, if there happens to be an ad running on one of my videos, perhaps you wouldn't mind just letting it run. You don't have to pay attention to it for it to count. And if you wanted, I can be found on another channel called Coffee Talk. Check it out if you get the chance. So that being said, as always, stay frosty, folks, and thanks for listening.